What's the wildest thing you've ever seen a parent allow? I worked at this kids' play center called Bounce Zone during weekends. We did birthday parties in these private rooms with bounce houses and stuff. I'd seen some pretty wild parents before, the ones who forgot to pick up their kids, or the dad who showed up drunk to his 5-year-old's party. But nothing prepared me for what I call the surgery mom. It was a Saturday afternoon when this woman walks in pulling this hospital IV stand on wheels. At first I thought someone was lost or something, but then I see there's a kid attached to it. This boy, maybe 9 years old, had gauze wrapped around his whole chest, one of those oxygen clips on his finger, and he looked completely out of it, like his eyes were barely open. I rushed over thinking this was some kind of emergency. Maybe they got lost on the way to the hospital or something. But the mom just smiled at me super wide and goes, "Don't worry, honey. He just got his appendix out this morning. But we're not rescheduling his party. He insisted on being here." I'm standing there like, what the hell? Asking if maybe he should be resting at home or in the hospital. She waves me off like I'm being dramatic. He's on great pain meds. We had a nurse in the family clear it. We're totally good to go. The party was supposed to be 2 hours. This kid could barely stand up straight. Every few minutes he'd lean against the wall looking like he was gonna pass out. But his mom kept pushing him to participate in the games. We had sack races planned, and she's literally helping him hop in this burlap sack while he's hooked up to an IV. Other parents are staring like they can't believe what they're seeing. One mom actually pulled me aside and asked if this was normal. About an hour in, during the balloon pop game, the kid just throws up all over the floor. Just boom, everywhere. His mom doesn't even flinch. She grabs some napkins from the party table and hands them to him. "That's just the anesthesia wearing off, sweetie. Keep going, it's your special day." The other kids are grossed out and backing away. Their parents are whispering to each other and looking at me like I should do something. But what was I supposed to do? I'm 17 making $8 an hour. Then this dad, Kevin I think his name was, comes up to me and quietly says, "You need to shut this down right now. That kid is not okay. This is insane." Turns out Kevin was a pediatric doctor. He'd been watching the whole thing, getting more and more freaked out. I called my manager Josh, who was in his office doing paperwork. I explained what was happening and he was like, "What? Are you serious?" He came out, took one look at this kid who was now sitting on the floor because he couldn't stand anymore, and immediately called 911. When the EMTs showed up, they checked the kid's vitals and their faces went white. One of them looks at the mom and goes, "Ma'am, this child should be in a hospital bed right now. His blood pressure is dangerously low." The mom completely lost it. Started screaming about how they were ruining her son's birthday, how she'd paid for the room, how the clown was supposed to arrive in 20 minutes. She kept saying the kid begged her not to cancel. Turns out she'd signed him out of the hospital against medical advice that morning. The doctors told her he needed to stay for observation, but she refused because the party was already paid for. The EMTs had to convince her to let them take him back to the hospital. She was arguing with them the whole time about whether they could wait until after cake. Kevin, the doctor dad, later told me he almost had a panic attack watching the whole thing. Said in 15 years of pediatric medicine, he'd never seen anything that reckless. The kid ended up being fine after they got him proper care, but CPS got involved. Apparently this wasn't the first time she'd made questionable decisions about his health. The craziest part? She tried to get a refund for the unused party time.